right, this is super exciting. So the football card to make the highest return on right now, in my opinion, and keep in mind this is not financial advice, please. This is just sports card strategy I've been using for a long time that has worked for me that hopefully can work for you. And you guys are going to make fun of me. I know I'm going to get hate comments. I know I'm going to get people that are going to call me an idiot, but hear me out. So if you're looking at this right now, you can probably see that the investment at stake, or the person I'm talking about, is Sam Howell. And yes, Sam Howell, the former Commanders quarterback who got traded to the Seattle Seahawks, who everyone thinks did not have a good season, okay? And don't use this training, especially if you're looking at this in the future and it's not applicable anymore, because right now when I'm speaking, it's April 2024. Use this as a guideline for future sports card investments, okay? That's the point of it. Like, sure, you can go and buy some Sam Howell and follow my advice if you want. Once again, not financial advice, but use this as a guide, and what has made me successful in sports cards could hopefully make you successful in sports cards. This is my reasoning, or why I'm buying Mr. Sam Howell. So, for those of you guys that follow football, you know Sam Howell did not have the best of seasons. Did not have a good season. He got traded from the Commanders to the Seattle Seahawks. Now, I don't think Sam Howell is honestly that bad of a quarterback. He had pretty solid receivers and skill guys on the Commanders, but their offensive line was atrocious, like horrible. And for someone like Sam Howell, who's only like 6'1" or whatever he is, not good. Okay, I'm going to say this. I'm going to show you guys my two possible scenarios, in my opinion, of what I think will happen with Sam Howell here in the next 3, 4, 5 months. And keep in mind, anything can happen, right? Anything can go sideways. A player can get hurt. A player could drop down in value. A player can get a DUI, God forbid, for whatever reason. Okay, so anything can happen with a player, and his value could always go down to zero. But I look at two possible likely scenarios as to what's going to happen to Sam Howell. Now, I say there's a 60 to 70% chance I break even on my investment. You guys are probably like, 60 to 70% chance you break even. What kind of crappy investment is that? Hear me out. Everyone expects him to be a backup quarterback, right? The GM and the coach of the Seattle Seahawks have come out and said Geno Smith is the starter, but right, they always say that crap because they just want to make the starter happy, right? So his prices reflect him being a backup. Look here. In June of last year, you see right there, it's a little small. Maybe I can make this bigger. Oh, there we go. So in June of last year, his Silver Prism PSA 10 was $276. Now, it sells for $80. Why? Because everyone thinks he's a backup quarterback. These are backup quarterback prices, maybe a backup with a little bit of potential. Okay? His prices have plummeted. If he competes for the starting job or wins it, or there's word he's pushing Geno Smith in camp, or he's having a good preseason, Geno Smith is already on the hot seat. Okay, he underperformed last year with the Seattle Seahawks, who are a good team who probably, should have went farther than they did, but they did not because of their quarterback play. That's why they got Sam Howell there in the first place, right? They wouldn't have such a viable backup if they thought Geno Smith was the future. This is my thinking. So I honestly say there's about a 30% chance that he either pushes for the starting job, there's noise in camp, something that elevates his value. And I also say there's a 70% chance he just remains the backup and the prices stay the same. And maybe I'll make 5% because football will go up. But look at this. Look at this. When you break it down like this, right? This is, once again, this is nothing guaranteed. This is just my opinion as to what will happen here in the next few months. But in my head, there's a 70% chance I break even and a 30% chance I double my money. That's a good bet, right? Who wouldn't flip a coin and say, oh, if it lands on heads, I break even. If it lands on tails, I double my money. That's a really good bet, right?
If you're enjoying the content of the video and want to learn how to make a side income with sports cards, I spent the past 3 months putting together a training to show you exactly how it's done in detail. Sports cards has allowed me to live a life beyond my wildest imagination, and I'm thankful for the hobby every single day. That is the reason I teach sports cards, and I'm so passionate about it. At the end of the training, we offer a paid program where you can work closer with me. However, I do not want you joining until you've watched the training I put together. It will show you exactly what's inside the program and how to make money with sports cards, and from there, you can make an educated decision. If you'd like to sign up for the training, either scan the QR code on the screen or text the word Eric to 973-755-9486 or click the link in the description. Just to repeat it, if you'd like to sign up and watch the training, scan the QR code or text Eric to 973-755-9486 or click that link in the description. Now let's get back to the video.
Anything can happen. And this is invest at your own risk. I'm just telling you what I've done in the past, that it's worked for me. But I want you to think about something, okay? So this is kind of how sports cards works. So let's take someone that has skyrocketed in value in the past few years. So someone that skyrocketed was Jalen Hurts. Okay, Jalen Hurts, not last year, but the year before. So that was 2022. He skyrocketed like 3 times in value when he started to play. His PSA 10 contenders was like $300 or $400, maybe $500, 600, and it went up all the way up to $2,000 above it, maybe like 3, something like that. But the reason he skyrocketed in value is because nobody was buying Jalen Hurts at the time. Like no one was on him. People were buying other guys like Tua, Mahomes, of course, Josh Allen, but no one was buying Jalen Hurts. And that is where you make serious money, when you're buying that guy that nobody is buying. Okay, and Sam Howell. Same thing. No one's buying him, and he has the room to skyrocket. That's how sports cards works. To give you an example of like kind of the other end of the spectrum, or 2 other ends of the spectrum. So CJ Stroud, right now, while I'm speaking, super hot. Everyone knows he's a great quarterback, right? And for his value to double, I mean, he'll have to really play well. He'll have to like have probably an MVP type season for his value to go up like 50% to double, depending on how the market reacts here in the next few months. So a lot needs to happen to make money on CJ Stroud, because everyone's already on him. But someone like Sam Howell, who nobody's buying and his prices are so cheap, it's kind of like a penny stock in a way, right? Only a little bit of fire, a little bit of momentum needs to happen, and boom, you can go up 50% or double. It's kind of like right, if you invest in Google, the Google stock price is not going to double overnight. Right? Your downside is not really that big, but your upside is not really that big either, right? It's called a blue chip stock, right? It makes 2, 3, 4, 5% a year, whatever it may be. Sam Howell is a penny stock where, like, if a small company does something and gets like a military contract with the government or something like that, I'm just making something up, his value is going to shoot up a lot, right? However, in this situation, unlike a penny stock, that company could go out of business. In this situation, not really, right? Sam Howell could get injured, and his value will go down a little bit, but his value already is so low because everyone expects him to be a backup, and he underperformed so much. Check this out. So I've told you all, I've given you all my explanations, and I might as well show you that I actually practice what I preach and show you some purchases I made and why I made those purchases. So check this out. So this is the last card I bought while I'm speaking right now. You can see I bought this Blue Shimmer Prism, a PSA 10, Sam Howell. There's actually no comps on this card. It's a super rare card. Not common at all. There's probably only a few PSA 10s, but it ended for super cheap. So I actually just pulled up some comps here. So this is actually pretty interesting now that I'm seeing it. I actually didn't see this when I bought it. So his PSA 9 did $424 in December. He was already underperforming. And his PSA 10 back in October, when he started to underperform, was $1,200. Okay? And you can see in June it was $1,700 when he was like super hot. Everyone thought he was like the next big thing for the Commanders. And I mean, look at the price I paid. $209. I mean, the downside is just not that much. Like anything could happen. This could go to $100, but the odds of this card going to $100 versus the odds of this card going to $400, I like my odds of this card going to $400 a lot more. Okay, so in my opinion, once again, I think it's a solid purchase, and the math is with me. And I'll show you one more example. This is a company or a website called MySlabs. I bought this card for $181. It's his PSA 10 Contenders. This card hasn't dropped as much because it's a little bit more of a coveted card. But you can see his PSA 10. You can see this is actually my purchase, 180. I guess I did good because the last one before that's at 245, then 150, 185, then 350, 400. Those are probably fake sales. So you can see the card does like 140, 170, 180 in that range. It did a little bit lower here. I guess he picked up some steam when he got traded to the Seahawks. But check this card out. Right, if you scroll down here. All right, let's scroll all the way down to the beginning of the season. Boom. So this card was like $500, right? and now it's 180. You can see what happened, right? Season started. He didn't play that well. Started to go down. I guess he had a good game here, and it jumped up. And then people realized, oh, wait a second, the Commanders stink, and this card predictably goes down and down and down and down and down, and then it ends up here. So yeah, that's one of my investments at the moment. That's why it's kind of a little bit of risk. High return investment is the way I like to look at it. Who knows? Maybe we'll look at this video in the future and I'll be a total idiot and his value went to 0. Maybe I'll look like a total genius and his value went 4 times. I guess time will tell. But people always ask me, what am I buying? Why am I buying it? How am I buying it? Well, here you go. eBay, another website called MySlabs. I found these cards. This was an auction. This card was just priced at $175, so I bought it plus tax or whatever. It was like $181. But yeah, cool. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Always feel free to comment, shoot me a DM, wherever. I always enjoy doing these videos. But like, comment, subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube or wherever. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know what you honestly think of my investment. I'm curious as to what you guys think, especially a lot of you guys that watch me. Either A, have never really bought and sold sports cards, or B, never really bought it at a high volume, so some of you guys might think I'm absolutely insane for doing this. But let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, shoot me a DM, comment, whatever. I'll see you guys in the next video.